All right. Well, it is early in the morning, and I wanted to just record a quick video. I don't have time for a normal video. Actually, today I'm going to a local, it's kind of like a pastor's meeting kind of thing. I've been to it before. I'm not a pastor, but my pastor has invited me to it before. And this month they're talking about critical race theory and the woke church type stuff. So my pastor thought it might be fun for me to come, which I agreed. so so that'll be fun today. And the good news about this is that I just took the fluoride out of my water this weekend, so I'm gonna be all antsy in my pantsy, I guess. That's a weird thing to say. I don't know why I said that. Anyway, I wanted to just do two quick things. Number one, I'm starting to revamp my website a little bit. Here's the website if you want to send people to adrobles.com. adrobles.com. They're able to purchase my book. It just really links to eBay right now, but they're able to purchase my book in a very easy way. They can also sign up for my mailing list and all of that. Also, it shows the different pricing options. People can still send me gold and silver for the book if they see fit. Here's my address. If you ever need my address, it'll be right here. And then a little bit of information about me. This is just sort of the back of the book and a little bit about my content and stuff like that. Very simple website, but I figured I should revamp it if I'm selling a book, just to increase the opportunity to capture some sales and all of that kind of thing. Also, if you did not see it, over the weekend, I spoke with Seiko Woods about the book. And so, if you have, someone that maybe you're interested in sharing my content with, but maybe you don't want to send to my YouTube channel, Seiko and I had a pretty good conversation about a lot of the details of my book. I thought this was really good, and so this is a couple hours of talking, I think. And so, if you missed it, didn't have a chance to see it live, we live streamed this, so no editing here. He asked me some pointed questions for sure. So this is a lot of fun, and point them to that. I'll include the link to this in this description. Now, I do want to address something, pretty important in my opinion. If you go to my website, you will see that all of the Curt Kennedy content has been removed from my website, and or my YouTube channel, I should say. And nobody asked me to do this. I did this of my own accord, my own volition, but I thought it was the right thing to do. And let me explain why. So, if you've been following that feud, there was a little bit of an issue between me and Curt, and it's kind of been boiling over the last few days and all of that stuff. What you might not know, though, is that we do have some friends in common, some mutual friends in common, and I kind of knew, like, deep down that this was not pleasing them in any way. It was probably causing a lot of pain for them and all of that. But I felt justified in myself. You know what I mean? I felt justified with what I was up to and all of that kind of thing. And the reason I felt justified is because I felt like I had something against Curt, and I felt like I had, tried to reach out to him and stuff like that, and it just wasn't getting resolved and all of that. So I felt like the back and forth was kind of warranted and valid, but all that changed on Friday, because on Friday, as I was recording a live radio show, Curt called me, and I was very surprised about that. I didn't expect him to do that, but he did. I couldn't pick up at the time because I was recording a show. And anyway, so we spoke later that evening, and it was so funny. Like, I was about to sit down to dinner when he called back, and so I told him, I said, "Hey, I'm about to sit down to dinner, but let's talk for a minute." So we ended up talking for like an hour and a half. That's how that worked out, right? So maybe not quite an hour and a half, maybe like an hour. But the first 45 minutes of that conversation, I wouldn't say they went well. We probably yelled at each other, and maybe it was mostly even me that was doing the yelling, for like 45 minutes, and it wasn't pleasant for my wife. I went outside so that nobody had to hear it, but it just wasn't pleasant. It wasn't a pleasant conversation. I didn't ask Kurt, but I'm sure he didn't think it was pleasant either. Um, but we kind of had it out for like 45 minutes, and then just the I'm not gonna get too detailed here, but um, just suffice it to say that just it's just something really miraculous happened, and it was like in a moment. Like, it wasn't like we were like solving things. Like, we were just we were just yelling at each other for like 45 minutes, and it's not like we were making any progress. Like, minute 45 was like just as bad as minute one. You know what I mean? But then just like in a moment, I don't even remember who said the thing that kind of snapped it, but in a moment, it was like we both just changed on a dime, and we both just sort of asked for forgiveness for various things. And my big thing, and I thought I'd tell you guys this because this is something I did on my own channel. My thing was that I felt like I had something against Kurt, but what I did was I extrapolated my issue with Kurt, and I made it kind of like a whole deal. So I said, you guys might remember this. I said on this channel that Kurt was untrustworthy. I said that Kurt was not like no. I said nobody should trust him is what I said. I said nobody should trust him because he's just a liar. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I don't know why my voice is going right now. Anyway, so I said that on my channel, and what I was doing was I was saying, well, because I have this issue against him, I think that nobody should trust him for anything, and that he's just a liar. And that was wrong. That was inappropriate. You know what I mean? Like, just because I had something with him, I felt like I had something with him, doesn't mean that it's appropriate necessarily for me to go out and say nobody should trust him. He's just untrustworthy. He's just a liar. You know what I mean? Like that's not right. You know what I mean? So I asked for his forgiveness for that, and he was very gracious about it. But that was a big deal. It's not like he was gracious because it was no big deal. It was a big deal, and so very grateful to have talked to Kurt on Friday, and it was just listen. I'm not going to get too deep into the back and forth, but it was just to me it was miraculous. It was very miraculous because, like I said, we we were going at it for 45 minutes, and it was like no progress was made. But then in a moment, and I can only explain this as the Holy Spirit just moving in a moment, and we were both just like, we were done. You know what I mean? Like, we were both just done. And it was like, you know what it was kind of like? It was like, you're hitting a rock with a hammer, and you're just hitting it. You don't feel like you're making any progress, and you're just hitting it. And then it's just that one hit, and it just splits in two. It's like you were making progress the whole time. You just couldn't see it. But, you get that one hit, and it was no different than the other hits, and it just splits in two. You know what I mean? That's kind of what it was like. So I know that there were people. I know that there were people that are mutual friends that had been praying for us, and they're very pleased right now. You know what I mean? And there's probably people in this community right now, people that watch my channel, that were probably feeling the same way. So if you were praying for me, if you were praying for Kurt, and if you were praying for that whole situation, I can only say thank you, and I can only tell you that how grateful I am for it, and all of that. So. That's the end of it. That's the end of it. So I hope that you understand. And again, Kurt didn't tell me to take the videos down. At least I don't think he did. Yeah, pretty sure he didn't. But I felt like it was the right thing to do because even if there's some good content in there, you know what I mean, like and all that, like there was also mixed in with that just me, just saying inappropriate things, you know what I mean? Saying things about him that weren't necessarily true just because I had, I felt like I had something against him. That's not right. That's not right. So, and I will say this too, Strizzy Strack, I don't think any of this would have happened. I don't think I would have spoken with Curt if not for Abner. So thank you for being willing to kind of be that go-between, even though I'm sure it wasn't the most fun thing to do. Even though it wasn't the most fun or comfortable thing to do, I really appreciate that. Yeah, and that's all I'll say right now. I actually do have other things to say, not about Curt, but about some things. And I don't think it's totally unrelated to some of the controversy I had with Curt, but I do have some other things to say about a completely separate situation, and we'll get to that at some point. But anyway, that's all my video is today. I hope you had a good weekend. I hope you had a good Lord's Day, and I'll see you in the next video. I hope you found this one helpful. God bless.